Is it on? I don't know. What the fuck's wrong with this thing? Is it the camera? Is this how this works? Okay, so you're moving. All right. I think you can start now.
So I have actually been playing Heroclix since its inception 10 years ago. I can still remember I was actually at school, about 16 at the time, and stayed at school a bit later to audition for the school play. And while I was sitting in one of the classrooms waiting to get called in for my read-through, my brother burst in. And he was just like, Amber, you gotta try this awesome new thing I just picked up. And he handed me this giant white box. And it was the first ever Heroclix starter set. And after we were done the audition and we went home, and my brother read through the rules and we played the game. And I was instantly in love with it. Unfortunately, much like anything I got in doing hobbies with my brother, like Pokemon cards or anything except video games, basically he got tired of it long before I did. So I, for a while, didn't have anybody to play with, but I was still picking up packs, and I was picking them up based on the character that was actually on the outside of the box, because I was 16 and they were pretty characters and I like Catwoman. And this is back in the day when DC Heroclix and Marvel Heroclix were actually two separate things, and they weren't mixed for whatever reason. I don't remember exactly when that changed, but yeah. So originally I got into it, like I said, because my brother was like, you gotta try this game. And we both grew up with my dad reading comics all the time, so it was trips to the comic book store, stuff like that, comic book movies. There weren't a lot at the time, like Superman and Batman. Pretty much Marvel hadn't really gotten on the scene too much, except for, I think Blade was out by that time. But yeah, so I originally got into it because my brother wanted me to try it out with him, and I fell in love with it. I tried playing more often, and I didn't really start playing competitively or even frequently until I was about 18, and my first boyfriend, I found out he really liked Clix games. He was also into MechWarrior and Mage Knight and stuff like that, so he started playing, and then we found a venue, and then everything was there. What do I like about Heroclix? I find it fun. It's really frustrating a lot, actually, but I think it's a really cool game. Just the design of it, the whole Clix dials. There was an old board game that I used to play with my dad and my brother, and little miniatures, just like Heroclix, little warriors, and they had Clix dials, and it was just to show their health. But that was kind of like my first introduction to Clix. I didn't know about MechWarrior or Mage Knight before I got into Heroclix. But I don't know, it's something that I've actually met some of my best friends, or closest friends, playing this game, and obviously I actually met my husband through this game, so that's probably a good thing. I can say that that's what I like most about Heroclix, right? No, fuck him. I'm not gonna be that girly. No. I do like the representation of the characters, and the fact that you can, any nerd wants to have superpowers and wants to be their favorite character, and I did a lot of acting in like school and public stuff when I was younger, so it was always like, oh, I want to be these people. So for the couple of hours that you play Heroclix, you kind of get to be these characters, but you also kind of get to abuse them, so sorry, that's not a highlight. No. No, it's fun watching Wolverine smash Hulk in the face, even if you're just doing it through dice and numbers. Yay, math. Yeah. So that's pretty much, it's a really fun game, and I really like the community around it most of the time, and yeah. Even though it wasn't something I was a big fan of when it first came out, One of the things that I actually have liked over the last 10 years, and I think it was implemented about 5-6 years ago, is the white powers. Like I said, originally I wasn't a fan of it. I was like, what's going on? It's kind of broken. They're doing really weird stuff. But they've managed to actually bring these figures in, or these powers in, and make it more, like, mechanically correct for characters sometimes. You can actually get, like, one of the first introductions to it, you had the Out of Shadow as Batman, and that made a lot of sense for his character, and that was really cool, where he was just hopping from hindering to hindering, and he was really sought after and sealed. But yeah, I definitely think it was the white powers. I didn't like feat cards. I didn't like battlefield conditions. As much as, like, originally, I was like, oh, why does everybody have to have a card for their character? This is really weird. It's actually better now, and I can see people, like, meeting new people that have just recently got into the game and didn't know what it was like before all of this stuff. And it's actually nice to have a card in front of you being like, oh, what's that power? Even if it's not a white power, being like, oh, what's that power? Because in the past, there's been a really nasty habit of them, the ink being weird, and so you get a character with like toughness, but it looks like impervious, or actually it's mostly the oranges, the reds, and the gold characters. So in the past, we've had times where it was like, well, we don't know what this power is, we gotta go look it up online, and it wasn't until it was actually, yeah, it was supposed to be toughness, but we've been playing it as impervious the whole time. I don't think that was actual ever an instance. So the cards, white powers, those have actually really helped. Even though the game's gotten so advanced since it first came out 10 years ago, those really helped new players. Also, just as a reminder, a clarification, when you look at it, be like, oh no, that's not super senses, that's toughness. But yeah, definitely the white powers are probably my favorite thing so far. Fuck team bases. What's the best team I've ever built? Fuck. We've been playing a game on and off for 10 years. It's hard to remember. Actually, one of my favorite ones that I ever did was years and years and years ago. I was playing a tournament, and I was playing, I can't even remember what version of Superman it was anymore, but it was, I actually think it was the Legacy Connor Kent. The Legacy? Might be Clix. I don't know. I can't remember what set he's from. It was back when they were actually putting LEs inside boxes, inside your case, and it would be, instead of having white writing, it would actually have gold writing, so that it was an in-box LE. So I got him, and I have the Superwoman, I think it's Earth 2 Superwoman. Oh yeah, I set up a team of, actually now that I think, I don't think Superwoman was, anyways, I set up this whole, like, super family team, and I just gotten Crypto, who was, if anybody remembers, the Buy It by the Brick figures. He was the first one that I collected all of my box tops and sent them off, and they sent me a box in the mail, and this little Kryptonian dog. Still one of my favorite Clix ever. He's awesome. But yeah, probably one of my favorite teams that I've ever built. I used to do a lot of theme teams back in the day before keywords, and theme teaming was actually like a creative process, where you could, like, base it on a movie or base it on a certain comic or anything you wanted, and it wasn't detrimental or advantageous to you. It was just, hey, look, I've got a cool looking theme. So yeah, there's been too many teams to actually think of, but I mentioned the Superman one because I actually almost won the tournament. I think I went 2-1 in that, and actually came very close to beating my boyfriend at the time with that team, and I was very, very, very happy with that. you'll come to know I'm not a very competitive player. So when it comes to metagaming, I don't really understand it. I have learned that I think of strategy and tactics very differently than normal people do. So I've watched games from Worlds, and I'll see what's like, what types of teams are winning regularly in constructed tournaments. But as far as a competitive metagame, right now, what's going on with that is trying to beat team bases, and there's entire teams built around trying to beat them. I couldn't even get my head around being able to devise a team like that. Like, I've played against them, I've seen them, I hate them, because you have to be a fucking prick to be able to beat. I really don't like high competitive games. I went away to Ottawa a couple of years to do a convention tournament, a couple of convention tournaments, and sometimes when you get higher up in competitive, people are just fucking assholes. So I'm not, that's not really my scene. I don't really like it. So when it comes down to, like I said, a competitive metagame, there's not much I think about it because I don't understand it. I don't think that way when building my teams. So I don't think, I can't say either way, whether it's cheese, whether it's bad, whether it's ruining the game, because that's not really where I am when it comes to playing this game. I like playing tournaments, I like playing competitively, but when it comes to high competition like Worlds, like Gen Con, stuff like that, not something I do. So why am I showing you guys my lovely smile all the time? And my dirty, filthy fucking mouth. We decided that this is going to be a really fun thing to do. We have fun playing Heroclix, and when you've been together for 5 years and you have 3 kids, sometimes you need something to do that's just for you. That's not really the reason we're doing this. We actually, I think we started it for Worlds last year. We were watching games, and it was actually really exciting to watch other people play Heroclix, and it's such a strange thing to think, but when it comes to YouTube lately, with all of the, like, let's play videos, instructional videos, especially when it comes to, like, video games and gaming in general, it's really entertaining to watch how other people's play. And, I've been told in the past that I'm a very fun person to play against. Kind of bubbly. No, but yeah, so we wanted to do this just to have a fun side of the Heroclix, because you get the Worlds ones out there, and like there's podcasts out about what's going on in the Heroclix community, the tournament community, stuff like that, especially now that it's convention season. A lot of that stuff is popping out, and so we wanted to try something different, and we have a group of friends that we've been playing regularly with, and sometimes playing against the same people or doing the same way, meaning battle royales fucking piss me off, but doing the same thing over and over again gets frustrating, and and then you're gonna be like, but you're doing this channel and now you guys are gonna be playing against each other all the time, isn't that doing the same thing? No, go fuck yourself. It's not. Because this gives us a chance to try fun, crazy, wacky things that we wouldn't be able to do in our regular group of Clix players, and we get to share all of the greatness with you guys. Yay!
Don't make fun of them.
I'm not making fun of you. We love you. Watch us. Subscribe. Do it now. Do it 9 times. Yeah. So we're fun. We're fun people. We want this to be a fun experience. We want you guys to come back and watch more videos. And that's why we're doing this. Yeah.
Is that orange light gonna be on that camera the whole fucking time? Oh, God. Oh, fuck that thing. Oh, ow. What are we doing anyway? The fuck is this shit in front? Questions. Fucking not answering questions. The fuck is this? A goddamn interview? You make me put on a shirt, now I gotta do a fucking interview? Fuck. Shit. Okay. How long have I been playing Heroclix, and what attracted me to the game? Well, 11 years ago, I was in not the best place. I had just recently lost a job for a rival miniature company, rival to WizKids. I guess I wasn't really too good at that job. It was a sales boy job. I was 18 years old. What can I say? 19 years old? 19 years old. Pushing 20. And, you know, I needed another miniatures game because I didn't want to play the one that I had just been playing. And I heard that the guys that made that made Mage Knight got the rights to comic book characters. So I decided to jump on the bandwagon on that one. And it's been a wild ride ever since. I mean, the idea that playing a miniatures game that I didn't have to paint the figures for, first of all, that all the stats are on the figures themselves, and it just comes with a set of rules. I mean, it's exciting. You get to just open the packs, get with your friends, and play. It was a really good outcome for me. It was really exciting for me at the time. And then it's kind of spiraled since. I mean, I've been playing the game constantly, going to tournaments constantly, playing with my wife, beating my wife a lot. In the game, Jesus, fucking crazies. But yeah, no. Overall, I've been enjoying myself for the 11 years that it's been. What I like about Heroclix is the idea that I'm playing a strategic game still, with superheroes this time. I mean, superheroes are in tactical battles all the time. If you read the books, they're a little smarter than the little kiddie cartoons that we all think that they are. They often get displayed as. But at the same time, you know, this game does what it can to be as comic book accurate with the characters as it possibly can. And then we are to build strategies around it. And it gives you those options of a whole lot of what if things, you know? I mean, especially recently with the resources, you get the idea of what if Superman had the Infinity Gauntlet? Mm-hmm. I mean, ideas like that. You and your buddies are sitting in your comic book dens, or, you know, playing your board games or whatever, and these stupid conversations come up, you know? What if the Hulk had the Infinity Gauntlet? What if Hulk had fought Thanos? Who would win? Well, now we have the game that really lets us decide who can throw down. I mean, okay, it's not 100% perfect. There's still some characters that are really strong that aren't really well reflected. But, I mean, where the game is now, it is very comic book accurate. Very good and very strategy oriented. I think the greatest change that's ever been made to the Heroclix game was the keyword system. It rewarded proper theme teams, you know, like characters that were thematically would work together, you know. Even in your specific what if situations, soldiers would get along with each other. Mystical beings know how to talk to each other in comic books. The X-Men will work with each other, of course. X-Force will work with each other. The Midnight Sun, so on and so forth. I mean, you can't argue that these things don't happen in comic books. And rewarding players, because I've been doing it since the beginning. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. In the early days, I had my share of teams where I'm just like, why, I'm just throwing things in, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's all on the table. I'd sit within the points. What are you gonna do? So, I've had my moments with those, but once they introduced the keyword idea, I've maybe had 3 to 5 games where I couldn't be considered having a keyword since the introduction of it, which was when the Avengers set came out, whenever that is. I'm guessing 5-6 years ago. Wild toss in the dark, but I mean, when it comes down to it, I think that was the most instrumental change in the game. Vice versa, I think the worst thing that they've ever done in the game has been the team bases. Yeah, I get it. Teams work together, so on and so forth. They look cool on my shelf. That's about it. These things are a mess. When it comes down to it, it feels like they play like a team that played in the beginning with the new rules. I mean, in the early days, you could take actions after taxis and stuff like that, and that's what it feels like they're playing like. In all honesty, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't know what they were thinking when they made them. I can't fault them because they were trying something new, but this is something that's got to go in a hurry. I don't like it at all, to be honest. That said, I'm probably on level of hatred with that, with feat cards and battlefield conditions. I never liked those things, but good riddance to bad rubbish. They're gone now, and they've done a great job of getting rid of them. Best team I think I've ever built. There's some teams I've been really proud of, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I whipped out my soldier team with a mixture of Gears of War and Marvel stuff, it was pretty awesome. I recently won with a Thunderbolts team that turned out to be pretty good. More frustrating for my opponent, I think, though. I don't think that was the best team I ever built. I think, and then there was a time way back, a couple of years back, where pre-card days, I had a Green Lantern tank team that basically was the Green Lantern surrounded by hand ninjas and all kinds of stuff, and the Green Lantern had a trick shot, and he would just melt things. Absolutely melt them. It was really hard to touch that team if you didn't have stealth busters, and people hated me for a couple weeks with it. I really wanted the prizes. That's what I told them. I apologized to them on a regular basis, and I don't expect fellowship or, the Good Sportsman Award for tournaments like that, but I'm not playing with a team that's like that. But I guess those would be, if I was to say the best team I ever built, I don't build good teams. I've never, it's been my big weakness. I can identify what works in the metagame. I can identify what's great about certain figures, what's not so great about others, but I don't like playing it. I like my opponent to have as much fun as I'm having, and a lot of the time, if you play hard, one side's not gonna like it too much. So I like to try to get fun out of both teams. I like to have players sit across the table with me and go, "That's a cool team. I never would have thought of that. That's neat." Or, hey, you're playing a thematic team. I like that comic book, and have a conversation about the comic book. It seems when I get into tournaments, sometimes there's a lot of the guys that do play the metagame. That's them. My biggest weakness for competitive play is having an off button for that kind of thinking. My thoughts on the current competitive metagame are, a couple years back, I'm going to say 2 or 3 years back, the Arkham Asylum set released a figure called Metron. That figure was on every team, and every team that didn't have Metron was built to beat Metron. And the team that ended up winning the Worlds, or the finals in the Worlds, was, I think it was Metron and Hypersonicer, and Metron and a Nightcrawler, and both had the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. I don't like when the metagame turns into that. 2 years after that, the metagame saw the introduction of the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, believe it or not, I think the Infinity Gauntlet was a wonderful thing for the metagame, because I watched the top 16 games that were played. They were made available by HC Realms. Awesome website if you're a big Heroclix fan too. That's hcrealms.com. Forums, articles, links to all kinds of neat stuff. But they put up their own YouTube channel that filmed the top 16 games of the Gen Con Worlds and the Dragon Con tournament after that. And in all the games I saw, maybe the only teams that repeated themselves were teams that were seen twice because they'd won. I like to see different teams. I mean, it was a shame that the Gauntlet was all of them, but he's not on the board. The Gauntlet's a fucking glove. The Gauntlet is a neato thing that makes what would be previously unusable figures usable, and I hate when figures become unusable. It's not good for the character, the image of the character, to have a character who just sucks and is unplayable in the metagame. Let's look at it. The Gauntlet made a series of games that were all 100% different from each other. Now, I guarantee if they videotape this year's Worlds, we're going to see Ghost Riders, Scarlet Witches, and Brother Voodoo, either Brother Voodoo or another Scarlet Witch with the Skades Warbot, or we're going to see JLA, or we're going to see Shumagarath. maybe Galactus might show his face. I have a high level of doubt, even with the new changes to Energy Explosion, and that upsets me. I like when people can be original with their teams, and it upsets me when, you know, things like this happen. I have no problem with the Ghost Rider team. It's exciting to see that there's something that can beat the Justice League team base that isn't a team base, but it might as well be a team base. That Heroes for Hire team ability is just it's a little too effective for what it's supposed to be doing. On the same note, the team bases are way too effective at what they do. I feel like we're going to see those things just after X-Men. We're probably not going to see them again. And if we do see them again, we are going to see a lot of angry players. I don't want to see angry players. None of us want to see angry players. But it might end up being something we have to deal with. They've got to dial it back a bit. I'm not going to say there's power creep, but I mean, we haven't seen vehicles since Batman set. And, you know, vehicles were nowhere to be seen in Amazing Spider-Man, and I thought those things were bad, and then the team bases came out. So filming the game and doing this channel, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I've watched a lot. Like, I was a video game programmer. I'm a big fan of video games. It's no secret between me, my family, and everybody I know. It's no secret I love video games, but I also love watching people play video games on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's specifically the Let's Play videos, you know. And I'm going to go even more specific with that with the Rooster Teeth guys. Those guys are absolutely outrageous. And I thought to myself while I was watching them and listening to them yell at each other and scream at each other and enjoy themselves, I was like, that's how me and Amber play board games and Heroclix. It's time to share that. So, you know, you guys can now hear us, watch us play. Hear us curse at each other while we play. More so Amber than cursing than me. Yeah, laugh it up, Fuzzball. But yeah, you should hear the potty mouth on this girl. Holy crap. I gotta bring soap next to the table sometimes. So yeah, we wanted to share that experience with you. We're gonna try to keep it interesting for you guys, I'm not gonna lie. We have a random draw that we do for the point totals. We try to not repeat teams too often, though sometimes we want to, you know, try new things and we find ourselves with a team that melded better with something else. This is being filmed after a couple of our games have been played before they've been edited. So there's a couple, like there's one team I know I played twice. Slightly different the second time, but it was more or less just to give a new thing a try.
You cheated the first time.
That I cheated the first time, yeah. This is another thing I want to mention too is we flub the rules sometimes. Everybody does it. Hell, I could turn around and say there's 3 occasions where it happens in world tournaments. It just, like, you get so complacent with certain things happening that you don't pay attention to other things happening. So feel free to rage about it in the comments. I'm trying to make sure I caption it all in the edited videos. I know our pilot is going to have one flub that I missed, and it's with Alyosha Craven losing an ability that... Anyway, there's one flub that I missed. We'll flub. Deal with it. Sorry. Throw it in the comments section if we don't catch it in the editing process, and we'll be happy to hear from you guys. We're going to try to post these videos on HC Realms, our Twitter page, and our Facebook. The link is down here somewhere. I don't know. It's somewhere down here, I swear. And yeah, we're trying to get a web page. I'll try to get a web page together sometime if I get the resources, time, and a good host. And yeah, that's all for us for now. Hope you guys enjoy our games. And yeah, leave your dirty comments in the bottom. We will not be turning the comments off, so yeah, try to keep it kind of civil, but troll each other all you want.